You can use the random number generator on Microsoft Excel to do the random selection. So let's say there are 1,000 households in a village and you would like to select 100 to survey. You can simply number each person on the list, enter these numbers into Excel, then use the rand function to generate a random number that corresponds to each number, 1 through 1,000. Next, simply order the numbers by the randomly generated number and select the first 100 households. If it's too cumbersome to randomly sample from the entire population, multi-stage cluster sampling is a good option. Using this method, first the population is divided into clusters of about the same size. Then, you randomly select a few of those clusters. In the second stage, individuals are randomly selected within each cluster. While the end result looks different from a simple random sample, multi-stage cluster sampling is still an unbiased method. This is because each individual or household in the population still has an equal chance of being selected. Okay, so next we'll go over a practical way of selecting households randomly. Let's say the population of interest is all people living in a particular section of a city. You don't have any information on how many people are living in this area. So an easy way to select randomly is to first make a map of the area, including all of the streets. Here you should be careful because some people might not live on official streets. The only thing that's important is to designate a street for each person living in the village or the section of the city. And so if there is no street, then you can just group people in one area as if they were living on the same street. Next, you need to number each of these streets. After that, devise a system for numbering houses on each street. So for example, you could start at the northeast corner and then go clockwise until you get back to the northeast corner. Next, use a random number table, as we discussed before, to select people by house and street. This system will work as long as the maximum number for selecting houses on each street is larger than the maximum number of houses in any street in the sample. So if the most number of people living on one street is 25, then you should choose in the random function in the Excel table a number larger than 25. Then simply go down the list of chosen houses and street combinations, and if the house number is larger than the number of houses on the street, skip it and go to the next combination of house and street. Whatever method of selection that you use, make sure that it's clear to follow and easy to double check. Even well-intentioned survey enumerators might just do what's easiest. That does not always correspond, in fact it usually doesn't, to the ideal selection process. The timing of surveys also matters. At certain times of the year, you will be more likely to access people with certain qualities. For example, if people migrate for work or other reasons.